Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a video doing kind of a collection overview of all of my palettes. I have 5, and that's not a whole lot in comparison to some beauty gurus, but I have 5 that I really enjoy. So I have 4 like Sephora high-end brand palettes, and another one that's not drugstore, but it's of a drugstore price range. All of these palettes are still available, and I will kind of write in the description bar down below where you can get them and stuff, and it's really great that they're all available because sometimes they do discontinue palettes. So I guess I'll start with the one that isn't the high-end brand, and it is my Coastal Scents 88 Original palette. This is a really great palette for beginners or people who are just getting started on YouTube. When I had my last channel, I bought this because I really wanted it for tutorials, and it's perfect for it. Basically, it's 88 dime-sized eyeshadows. I got the original one, which is all mattes. There's an ultra shimmer one, which is the same colors as just a shimmery finish, and then they have other ones that are more neutral. But I really wanted this one. It's pretty decently pigmented. It's about $18 to $20, so that's really good for 88 eyeshadows. The pigmentation is pretty decent, I find. I think that, it could be better, but for what you're paying for it, it's okay. And it's really great for people who are just getting started, wanting to do tutorials, but they don't want to go out and, buy all of them in full size because, that can get really expensive when you're trying to buy 88 full-size eyeshadows. But I really recommend it for beginners or people who just want to kind of upgrade and expand their collection in a kind of a cheaper way. So I definitely do recommend this, especially if you're trying to get into YouTube and tutorials. Really love this. Then the next one I have is the first high-end palette I ever got, and this is the Kat Von D Poetica palette, which is available exclusively at Sephora. This has 8 colors. It's beautiful. My Aunt Nancy got this for me in New York. And it's a really great going out palette. It has some smokier purples and some deeper tone colors that are really great for going out. And I didn't have a palette like this, so I was really excited to get it. Now, I adore this palette, but it is kind of a hit or miss palette. For example, the sandy color, the copper color, and the 2 deeper purples and the white are stunning. They apply perfectly seamlessly. But then this one here, the kind of golden yellow tone, is a little bit chunky, and this one here, the beautiful blue purple, is a little bit sheer. So all in all, I think it's a good palette, but it is a little bit hit or miss. It wouldn't be my first palette I'd choose if you asked me which one of any to get, but I do like it. And this one I believe ranges for about $35 range. Then I have the infamous Naked palette. I feel like everybody and their mother has this. I adore this. This is my favorite all-time eyeshadow palette. I got it the Christmas before last, and I used it every single day for a year, at least every day that I was wearing eyeshadow. It's really beautiful. It has 12 neutral colors, full size, and it retails for about $50. Now, as you can see, these 2 are my favorite, Sin and Naked, because I have huge craters and pan hitting in them, but I love all of these colors, and there are some deeper tones for people who like that. And I feel like this palette is very spot on good. There are only 2 colors that ever give you any trouble, and they can be worked with. The first one is the color Sidecar, which is beautiful and very nicely pigmented, but it's a little bit chunky. And then the shade Creep, which is the black, is a little bit unpigmented, which was kind of a downer. But the rest of them are just flawless in their make. They're perfect colors. And I definitely think that if you're just gonna get one palette, I recommend the Urban Decay Naked palette. I really don't think you can go wrong. Now, the next palette is actually this year's Christmas gift from my parents, because my parents kind of get me, the routine we've gotten into ever since I've gotten into makeup is they'll get me one palette that I want for Christmas that I've really been eyeing, I guess. And this year they got me the Lorac Pro palette. This is a really amazing palette, especially I even think for older people. If you were choosing between them, I think a lot of not old people, but older people would go for the Lorac Pro. For the fact that it's very unique, that the whole top row are matte finish eyeshadows. These are really beautiful eyeshadows. They're very soft, very pigmented. I'll swatch a few for you just so you can see the pigmentation, because it really is spectacular, I think. Here's a few of them. They're very soft, buttery eyeshadows. The only thing is that they are almost so soft that it can be a little bit easy to just dig your brush into it, and then you have way too much color. And these eyeshadows can also tend to have a little bit of fallout, so I definitely recommend tapping off your brush, getting into that habit if you're going to be working with it. But I think this is an amazing palette for the fact that they have all mattes, and they're very basic matte colors, so that you really have a very nice build-up collection of matte eyeshadows if you purchase this. This retails for around $42, I believe. It's beautiful, so I definitely recommend this for the person who really enjoys matte eyeshadows. This is definitely the way to go. And then finally I have my next eyeshadow palette, which is literally my baby. I love this eyeshadow palette. It's the only high-end palette that I ever bought myself. All the rest of them were actually gifts, but this one I actually saved up for and bought with my own money. And it is the Urban Decay Vice palette. This was new in fall 2012, and it's beautiful. The packaging on this is actually flawless. There's a little button and it actually opens on its own. It's very nice. It has a huge, I don't want to blind you guys, but the mirror is huge and very easy to use because it sits up on its own. And then it has 20 exclusive to this palette colors from Urban Decay. You can't get these colors anywhere else from Urban Decay, at least not yet. I don't know if they'll release them in singles later, but they are all unique. And I love this color because of I love this palette because of the bright colors that it has. Like, look at that. Some of those are just absolutely beautiful. And also, I really like that even though it's a bright palette, it has these two very versatile colors that you need. It has a cream color for highlighting and a light tan for being that best friend color in the crease, and also a matte black. So those are some really good things. But I love the brights in this. They're absolutely stunning. There's one, like, they're all just so beautiful, especially the blues in this palette. This palette does some really nice blues. This one, I believe, retails for about $59, so it's the most expensive palette that I have, but I think it's so worth it. You get 20 colors that are absolutely stunning. I use this all the time. It's one of my favorite. I think the Urban Decay Naked Palette and this are tied. The Urban Decay Naked Palette's a little bit more, like, reasonable to be the favorite, but I love this one. And all the colors are very pigmented. There's only one in here, two, that I find are a little hard to work with. There is Jagged and Provocateur. And the reason I find that these are a little hard to work with is because they can be a little bit chunky. But besides that, I absolutely adore this palette. And you can get all those four that I was talking about, the high-end ones, at Sephora. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and leave video suggestions down below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!